It came from England. Corn dogs.
Hey everybody, welcome to Off the Rocker podcast. This is season 1, episode 5, and I'm Aaron.
I'm Kelsey.
And we're coming to you live today from West Lafayette, Indiana.
If you hear noises, we apologize. It's a beautiful Saturday morning, so we've got windows and doors open. But because we live in town, you may hear animals, you may hear fire alarms, anything. Fire trucks literally just went by. So.
And there's a Purdue game today, so the stadium is rocking. We can hear it.
Yeah, it's going to be a loud, energetic Saturday for sure.
Yeah, so, you know, we're being ourselves. Like, we got the windows open. We're just chilling, hanging out. It's a great day, and wouldn't rather be with anybody else today.
But me. Just kidding. I mean, maybe that's true.
That's what I mean. I wouldn't rather be anywhere with anyone else other than with you right here.
Oh,
that's what I was
saying. Earning brownie points. Good job, Aaron. Aaron.
Yeah.
So today we're going to be talking, we're just going to see where the conversation goes. We did not prepare at all. We didn't even know what we were going to talk about until, thank you. We didn't even know what we were going to talk about probably till what, Thursday? Friday?
Yeah, I think it was like Thursday.
So we've said this pretty much every episode prior, but we want to be very transparent and open and very realistic with sharing our life and our experiences. And it's been a rough week. It's been a long week, emotionally, physically. Like, it's just sickness hit our house this week. A lot of things kept popping up that took our attention from planning for the podcast. A lot's happened this week. A lot's been going down with work, with home, with everything.
And I think with what she said was sometimes that anxiety and strife that we deal with on a weekly basis is brought on by our own decisions.
Yes.
Or lack thereof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and as a Christian too, I really believe that God does not produce anxiety. That's something that we produce for ourselves. And a lot of times that comes from decisions we make. Even if we unintentionally make the wrong decision or don't do something right, all of our actions start with a thought. It then turns into a plan, and then it gets executed at some point. And sometimes at the execution point, it doesn't go how we initially intended it to go. And that's kind of what we've been dealing with a little bit this week.
So I probably don't read my Bible as much as I should. Wait, I'm going to remove the word probably.
I was going to say, we want to be real. Let's be real.
But I will say, I can still tell you, like, my favorite verse is in Matthew 6. Don't worry about what you're going to eat or what you're going to wear. Don't store up food, because God will provide for you.
Yeah.
Like, if he provides for the birds and whatever, aren't you more, like, important than them? So
yeah, that's good. That's one of my favorite verses too. But mine, like, I don't know, this week I was just kind of to a point where I was like begging God, like, you have to move somewhere in my life, whether it's in my mental, emotional, or physical being. You've got to move. Like, I've seen you do it before, but it sure feels like you're awful far away. It feels like you're ignoring me quite a bit. And was it Friday morning? I had finally had enough. I was getting ready to go to work, and I've been dealing with stress in all areas of my life this week, like real intensely. And Thursday night, I had to make some apologies for not to Aaron, but to other family members about things that I had said that really hurt them. And
Okay, the old text somebody in a group message and you think you're only texting one person.
yeah, and then
Trick.
you end up accidentally texting the person that you didn't want to hear that the most. And I really hurt that person. And excuse me. It just had been weighing, because it's been a month, probably close to a month that text was sent. It was mid-September. Mm-hmm. And so it's going on or close to, rounding up to a month that I've just been like, I didn't want to put this off. I knew I wanted to apologize. I didn't want to create a rift in our family. And I knew I did something wrong. And I said what I said because that's what I was feeling in that moment. But that's kind of like what I want to talk about today is like, all right, like I had so much anxiety for since the day that text message was sent and up until I actually apologized and like completely owned up to it. Like I didn't even like try to make excuses. It was like, this is why I did it. And I'm really sorry. It did influence me, but that's not an excuse. I am sorry. I should not have said it.
But again, self-inflicted, right?
Yes. Self-inflicted harm, unintentional. All I'm saying is,
but also,
you get in your feelings.
Can you speak a little bit on that book or those 2 books you bought?
Oh my gosh. If there was ever a foot in the mouth moment in my life, that was it. So I'm reading these 2 books. They go hand in hand. One is a 40-day challenge and the other one is the book that challenge is based off of. And one is called, Zip It. And the other one is Keep It Quiet or something like that. But the books are all about the idea of if it's not God honoring, if it's not helpful, encouraging, shut up. And it's good. It's like good, valuable information. And man, it makes you self-reflect, not feel guilty, but like makes you self-check. And I have been reading this for about 2 weeks up to that time where I sent that text message. And I was like, oh, this is great. And then one day I was just fed up with stuff at work. I was fed up with stuff at home. I was fed up with things going on in my head, things in my family. And I finally just was all up in my feelings, said something out of frustration of my feelings. And those feelings were feelings because I didn't set boundaries. I'm just going to say that. It was me not setting boundaries and staying firm with those boundaries. Like I've asked certain family members to not discuss certain things with me because it hurts me. And I didn't say, hey, can we talk about something else? I didn't set boundaries at work and say, hey, like, I'm doing my best. Can I get a little more clarification? I didn't say that. I just internalized it and kept shoving that frustration down until it just blew up on this person that absolutely didn't deserve it. And these books are all about like knowing when to keep quiet, knowing when to keep your mouth shut. And as soon as I sent that text message and you said, by the way, this is the group text with that person, immediately like God checked me and was like, oh, so how are them books doing for you? Like it was like an instant like.
And I try to be supportive and stuff too, but like every time it's not good because she'll say something, I'll be like, what about those books? And then she'll get even more angry.
I get even more mad, but you're not wrong. I mean, nobody likes being self-checked.
Yeah.
Nobody likes it. It is not comfortable. Yeah. I think self-reflection.
It's hard to stuff your pride down. And
absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's hard to admit that you were the wrongdoer because we all are born with victim mentality. Like we all want to be able to say we were wronged. We didn't do the wrong. And today when we're talking about anxiety and overwhelm, I'm not discrediting that some people do need to be medicated for the anxiety. Like I'm not anti big pharma. Okay. But because I myself have medicine that sometimes, and here lately, I've had to take it about a handful of times in the last month and a half. I get it. Like anxiety is a very real physical thing that you experience, and it can cause other health problems. But I also believe that we do have a God that is bigger than that we can come to and say, hey, like I'm really struggling, God. I need you to meet me where I'm at. Can you give me a word of wisdom? And that's where I want to pick up at, because what I was saying is Friday morning, I was getting ready to go to work and I literally woke up And immediately, before my feet even hit the floor, the devil had already gotten my mind and had my mind set that today was going to be an awful day. This is going to be really emotional. It's going to be really difficult. And so I literally, you were either in the shower or somewhere else, but it was me by myself in the bedroom. I literally got out of bed and dropped to my knees immediately. And I said, God, I need you to meet me where I'm at. I feel like I don't hear you. I don't see you. I don't experience you at all right now. And I feel like you've been very far away. And even though like I was praying with people all week, I was having great conversations that were very deeply spiritual, that were productive, it still felt like God wasn't listening to me. Like he was answering prayers for these people and I was the one praying these prayers that were answered. But when I was praying for myself, I felt like he just, where are you? You know, like, where'd you go? Like, wait a minute, you were here for them. Where'd you go for me?
Well, the way
So I did that thing that you really shouldn't do because it's really kind of churlish, as Aaron would say, childish. We say churlish. And my Bible was on the kitchen counter. And I don't even know why it was there. But it was there and it reminded me, stop. And I said, you know what, God? I've had enough. I've had enough. If you think today's going to be a good day, and if today is the day that you've made and I should rejoice and be glad in it, you're going to have to give me a reason. You're going to have to give me an explanation right now of why. And I literally opened my Bible. And the first verse that came up was, do you remember how it was worded? It was in Hebrews.
Let me get
I told Aaron, you're not going to,
context.
when I got to work, I was in such disbelief. I went to work absolutely stunned and speechless. And I texted Aaron and said, you need to go to the counter, look at my Bible and see what's highlighted.
I thought when you said that it was like that I sent you the same verse. And I was like,
no, but you sent me a good
because
one too.
I sent her a verse and I thought she was going to say like, that's the verse I opened up to and you just sent it to me. But
No, it basically was saying like,
a screenshot.
God's ever present. And,
I sent her a screenshot of it. So I'm gonna
There it is, right
there.
there.
It is.
so it's Hebrews.
Yeah. The Lord is my helper, so I will have no fear. What can mere people do to me?
Yeah, and I had been struggling with that. People were attacking me on like in every area of my life for the last 2 weeks.
This is what would happen if I opened my mine up. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, turn on the oven. I'm getting in, baby.
That probably is accurate.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe those of you who are listening or watching later, I don't know, like tell us in the chat like when you have anxiety, how do you manage it? How do you deal with it? Do you medicate? Do you pray? Do you talk to somebody? What do you do?
This is something interesting I've started to realize is when I become complacent, like after work, like if I'm doing the death scroll, which I terribly hate doing, like
we are so bad at
like
that.
I often have thoughts of just taking at least my smartphone, but maybe yours, and just taking them out to the garage and just hammering them up, just like destroying them, and then being like, all right, we're gonna get dumb phones now. Like we're like, give me a jitterbug. I'm just gonna like.
We do need the jitterbug.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm about there actually. Just had a birthday, so
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So I am curious. I know one thing that you do in particular, at least this is what I observe. When you're feeling anxious, you stuff it. You shove it down. You get quiet to where your body's literally almost vibrating.
So I think I got onto a thought and then I sidetracked myself.
Squirrel syndrome.
Maybe I have a little ADHD living inside too. But what I was going to say is when I become complacent, that's when the anxiety creeps up. So like when I'm like working and I'm busy doing my 8 to 5 or whatever it is, I usually don't have like anxiety during that time because my mind is going.
Well, you're being productive.
I'm being productive. I'm working through things. But then after work, like if I become complacent, I'm like a deadbeat dad just doing the death scroll, you know.
Yeah.
Which we try not to do that. Like we'll often check each other and be like, get off your phone. Like we need to spend time with
like
the
last
kids
night.
or whatever. Yeah. So like, you know, but they have technology they use sometimes. But we try to like spend time with them. And especially when weather's nice, like we're always biking and walking and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, before I like completely sidetrack here, what I was going to say is when I'm complacent, I have anxiety. But when I stay busy, I don't have that anxiety typically. And one of my favorite things to do is like woodworking or building things. Like that is like my favorite thing to do in the world is just take wood and build something. I'm a planner too, so sometimes I'll create a schematic and then
You get that from
I'll-
your grandpa
I'll
though.
build
Your grandpa
something.
was amazing.
But just here, and maybe we can do a poll or whatever. But my next big woodworking job that I'm considering doing,
oh boy.
yeah, she doesn't know, is doing a DIY bass, a bass guitar. So
Oh, cool.
I'd buy all the like little pieces, and I would like router out the body. I might just buy the neck. That's a little. I could probably do it, but
That's really neat.
it's a lot of work. But the plan is, and I've told Pastor Jim about this before. The body of the bass is going to be a bass, so it's going to be a bass bass.
Oh my gosh. I love that journey for you. I really
Wouldn't
do.
that be cool?
It would be fun. Imagine you up there on the church worship team, like, and
it's
they're like, yeah.
a bass bass.
Yeah. You should make your strings be brown that look like worms or something.
Ooh, yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Or like a really bright green, like some crazy line that you buy.
Yeah.
that's
And what's
expensive.
really ironic about all this, you don't fish.
I mean, I don't fish very often.
Of the two of us, you're not the fisher person.
This is what's interesting though. If ever, we had like some property with a pond or whatever, I'd be out there fishing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be fun. I love it. That's a good segue because I was thinking to myself, like, what are things that I do that I really enjoy? Things that make me like relax and just enjoy my life. I would say outside of worship and being with my family, it's fishing. That's probably the one thing. I love it. I get excited like a little kid. Like every time my bobber or whatever goes in the water, I'm like, yo, it's gonna bite. In the anticipation of never knowing if you're gonna catch anything at all. Like it's really exciting. So I love fishing and I love being around water. Not really the ocean. I think the ocean is beautiful, but it's dizzying to me to see nothing but water and it like that makes me like nauseous, motion sick. But I think it's beautiful. But rivers, lakes, those like specifically rivers, I'd say probably my favorite.
You love being around water.
Water.
I don't think we can give away the inside joke.
We can't give away the inside joke because I don't know if that person would ever listen. But it's
Yeah.
nothing against them, but it's just so
No.
funny that that's their last name.
Yeah.
And that's what I say. So,
Oh, Becky.
yep.
That's another one,
Yeah.
right?
Betty Dick. I swear that's probably the funniest.
We should give that story.
I'll let you do it.
Okay. So
That was honeymoon, right?
honeymoon. So before we had children, honeymoon, right after we got married, we honeymooned in one of my favorite places in the world, and that's Charleston, South Carolina. Isle of Palms. What?
Nothing. I'm just thinking, remembering this guy.
She's
great it
already.
was.
She's beyond the ocean already. I'm still dreaming about the ocean because we haven't been on an ocean vacation for a little while.
Yeah.
But honeymooned in Charleston and Isle of Palms. Of course, one of my great aunts lives out there, and we got to visit with her. That was super fun. But then,
The last 3 days.
of course, like every vacation, yeah, it's supposed to rain like the last 3 days, and we're like, all right, well, why be here when it's going to rain? And if you know anything about Charleston, you don't want to be there when it's raining, because you'll be taking your socks and shoes off, rolling up your trousers, and
Yeah, they don't have any natural street drainage because they're on the ocean.
So it pretty much
when it
floods.
rains, it floods.
So anyway, we decided to go to Somerset, Kentucky, and Science Hill, Kentucky, and we both have. Well, Kelsey has family that still lives there, but my family is from that area as well, at least part of their childhood.
Science Hill.
Yeah, my mom's side of the family. And really interesting fact was that Kelsey's great aunt was friends, maybe best friends, with one of my great aunts. And they knew each other.
And that is a whole side story in itself. I for sure thought when you two got talking about connections and stuff, I was holding my breath because I really thought she was going to say, oh, yeah, y'all are cousins. I was waiting for it, and I'm glad she didn't.
So basically, this kind of leads into that because this relative of mine, her name is Betty, and maiden name is Ray. Okay, so we were out driving around trying to find, because I've always been like, where did they grow up? Like, it was my great grandmother.
We wanted to see the farmhouse they grew up on.
My great grandmother and her brothers and sisters, and we wanted to see like where they lived. And so we drove around and we were trying to find, where it was, and we thought we had an idea. Well, there was an older gentleman that was like out mowing his yard or something, and we stopped and we said, "Hey," and we told him like what we were, trying to figure out, and he's like, "Oh yeah."
No, hold on. He said the names got mixed up because we said...
Well, I wasn't to that part yet.
Well, we said her name is this. And he said, "Oh, well, I think the Dick family lives there."
Yeah, so I was like...
That's how
I was
that
like,
kind of
well,
came
it was
to play.
like the Ray family, like Betty Ray and all them. And he was like, well, I know the Dick family used to live around here. And then he was like, he's like, Betty Dick.
And he...
Betty Dick. He's like, what did he say? Doesn't ring a bell.
Doesn't ring a bell. And I said, probably because that's not her name. But that's okay. I didn't say that to him. But what was real funny is Aaron's in the driver's seat and I'm in the passenger seat. We had a Chevy HHR at the time.
Oh, yeah.
I think is
such a beautiful car.
And so the guy's leaning, my window's open, and we're in his driveway, and Aaron's in the driver's seat, and I'm in the passenger seat, and the guy's leaning like this into my window and going, Betty Dick, and like exaggerating it, and it's kind of like spitting in my face, and I'm just like trying not to laugh every time he says it. Immaturity, let's be real. We were being really immature, but also like it's just really funny that he had confused the names, and so now we refer to her as Betty Dick because it's like that's apparently your name.
We don't refer to her as that, but I
do.
But it's funny whenever that we think of that story.
Yeah. Just
brings
little
back
funny things.
Fond memories. But we were recently in Science Hill again, or Somerset, I guess it was. And we were trying to like figure this out a little more. And one of Kelsey's relatives, or at least their fiance or something like that.
It's my cousin's husband.
Okay. So he is like a land surveyor, and he's like I can look in the database, and he's like I can find like
back to the 20s or something.
Yeah, like previous what do they call it, landowners, but like the titles and stuff like that.
So he could see who owned that property back to the 20s.
So I told him their name, and come to find out they actually they were like renters, and they had helped on a farm, so obviously their name wouldn't be in there. But he was able to find out where the farm was that they used to work on. Of course, the house isn't there anymore, but we have a pretty good indication of roundabout where it actually was. Beech Grove Road, I think he said, or something.
Which
like
is
that.
really ironic because I lived in Beech Grove, Indianapolis, for a time.
There's some irony.
There's
there.
weird, like, ironic connections between you and I that, like, what are they? There's a term for that where, like, somehow you and your soulmate have had ties previously in your life that you don't realize till later on. Like, when we were youth, in youth group, when the Passion of the Christ movie came out in Attica at the movie theater, your youth group went there the same time my youth group went there, and Aaron and I never met, but we found out that we were at that. It was the one night showing of Passion of the Christ, and it was open for local youth groups to come, and we were both there, but we never ran into each other that we know of. So in passing, we had a connection there. It's just weird, like some weird similarities. Like your family came from Science Hill, mine came from Somerset, which are literally like sister towns that are right next to each other. Like
your great aunt used to live there. That's
yeah,
how they were
and the
friends.
fact that my great aunt was married to Junior, who was your great aunt's boyfriend at the time's best friend, and that's why they all ran around together.
Right, double date.
So not only were we connected there, but like our great relatives ran around together, and that's why I thought for a minute when my Aunt Billy was like talking to you, and you guys kept making more and more connections, and I'm like, if you're about to tell me that I just married my cousin, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Also, we both worked at a Pizza King.
Yep.
Different one.
Yep.
different one. but
Different
we-
times. Yeah.
So if Kelsey and I both get fired tomorrow, we're selling our house. We're gonna take the equity and we're gonna start a pizza joint.
we are. That was my favorite job. That was so fun.
Yeah.
I enjoyed doing that.
It would be fun. We'd be working all the time, but it would be fun.
It would be
And our
fun.
kids would probably have fun with it too.
Yeah. Plus free food.
We'd do something neat, like kind of like what Arnie's did, where they have like the train room.
We'll
or
be
something.
pizza queen.
Pizza queen.
I'm just kidding.
I'll give
we
you the
wouldn't be that
props.
lame. Anyway, back to the topic before we started. This is our everyday life. We could talk for days and just random snowball conversations. So the thing I was saying that, like, I think how you deal with anxiety is you listen to music.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. Music.
You do.
Music's big for me.
Things that I do, like, I'm a big believer in, because I've experienced it myself, working out. Literally sweating it out, going to the gym. There is science that backs, like, how it changes your
There's
mindset.
science hill behind
There's
it.
science behind it, yeah.
Okay.
And we should do a whole episode in our southern accents.
I could do it.
I could so do it.
Listen, if we lived in Somerset for like 10 days, I'd be full country.
10 days. I was there just for a funeral one day.
I'd
and
never
was doing
take
it.
off a cowboy hat.
Your boots.
Cowboy boots.
Your snake skin boots.
Yes, I would love to get a pair of those again.
Oh my gosh.
They're expensive, so
They are.
I put my money in different areas, like building a bass guitar or something like that.
We're spiraling again.
I'm good at spiraling.
So what? Okay, so I shared some things that were like triggering for anxiety and all that stuff. What are some things that recently you've struggled with?
I was just going to say money.
Always money.
That's
yeah.
it. I feel like that's it, but it's probably not. When there's fighting within the family, that hurts me really bad.
Yeah. It's a big reason why I was like, okay, own up to it, you big ninny. Just do it. Because, yeah, I don't know. My whole life, there's always been strife somewhere in my family on either side, whether it's my mom's side or my dad. There's always seeming to be strife somewhere along the way. And because I came from a family of divorce, like, I saw what, if unresolved arguments continue, what it can lead to. And it's like devastating to a family.
Well, we obviously know that our past, like, it molds you and shapes you.
Yes.
Like, I don't think that anybody could say, like, oh, well, like, your past and where you grow up and how you grow up, like, doesn't mold you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know that anybody could say that. Like, even as saying, like, you're grown up in a home full of atheists or you grow up in a home full of Christians, like,
Yeah.
it's going to change who you are. It's going to change
Yeah.
the trajectory.
And even if you have faith, even if you are like the best Christian in the world, you're gonna have you're gonna have problems.
And not to say like you can't, break every chain, as the song says. Like,
Yeah.
when you grow up, like, I'm not saying, like, I guess I need to be clear and say, like, it shapes you, but I'm not trying to say like somebody who grows up in an atheist family wouldn't be like as good where are my fingers, as good of a Christian as like somebody who grew up in a Christian family.
Yeah.
Because honestly, a lot of times people who have those stories and that past, they can communicate better with others who are hurting or broken.
Yeah.
Or obviously, like,
I will say
like,
this.
for me to try to level with somebody who's had like a troubled upbringing, like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, but I'm not the perfect, like, I'm not the person for that. Like, I can sympathize as hard as I can and be like, oh man, that would be hard, but
you don't know
because
until
I
you go
haven't
through
lived it, like, I can't sit here and be like, oh yeah, I know how that feels.
Yeah.
No, sorry, but I don't. Oh,
I
I guess I
think-
don't wish I did,
But I will say, I think you'd be lying if you said that you didn't grow up with turmoil of some kind.
oh yeah, everybody
Because
has
everybody
something.
does. Your life is
Oh,
not
yeah.
going to be free of turmoil. It's not going to ever be free. Every season of your life is going to have challenges and hurdles that you're going to have to overcome. Like, no matter what. And whether it's internally or with other people or other situations outside of yourself. Like, every season, even if it's a good season and a productive season of your life, will have strife. It will have its own
Even
challenges.
when you get older and you can't get the pickle jar open.
Yeah. that's tough. Pickles are great. Side step in there.
Yeah.
But
like
I know,
'em.
like, one thing I will say, though, you were talking about, like, atheist versus Christian, that kind of stuff. Now, my Christian mentor, I call them my mentors because they are, when I say they're much older, please don't take offense to that, these people, okay? But you're double my age. I glean and lean on them because they've experienced a lot more than I have. And I am a, like, advocate for, you should have 3 types of relationship in your life at all times of your life. You should have people that you're being mentored by because you need somebody older and wiser than you to help you through your current season. You need somebody that's where you are so you can be relevant to somebody and feel like you're not alone. And you need somebody that you can mentor where you've already been. So somebody that's typically younger than you or less experienced than you. And I think, like, we find our fulfillment when we have all 3 of those bases covered in relationship in our life. And I have people in each of those categories for myself. And that's where, like, I would add another category where most Christians probably wouldn't, but I have friends who aren't Christian. I don't know if they're atheists. I don't know if they're agnostic. I don't know what they are, but they don't believe in God the way I believe in God. They believe there's something, but they don't know him like I know him. Mm-hmm. And sometimes in my deepest pit, at the darkest time, there was something that they said that snapped me out of it and woke me up. And I won't say who it was, but, like, when I had my affair, like, I had talked to this person and they're not a Christian, and I said, I don't know what to do. Clearly, like, this life ain't working for me. Like, I keep making dumb decision after dumb decision and I'm going to lose everything. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. And this person had said to me, like, one day your kids are going to figure you out. You're going to grow up, and it may be sometime around your 30s, but one day your kids will wake up and they will clock you, and they will tell you exactly who they saw you as and your mistakes. And if you don't get that straightened out now, you're literally setting forth the trajectory of their life and what they believe marriage is, what they believe relationship is. None of my Christian friends that were praying for me were telling me that truth, but this person told me that foundational truth that completely rocked my world. And I was like, holy cow, like, you're right. This decision is, like, what my choice that I made, like, this is affecting the trajectory of the rest of my kid's life. And I was like, wow, like, eye opener, throat punch, gut punch, all at the same time. I was like, what am I doing? And it was from somebody who wasn't a Christian. They were bold enough to be honest with me and say, well, if you keep doing that, this is what you're doing. And this person doesn't believe in God. They don't believe, like, right, wrong. They just believe live your life. Like, just live your life and be a good person. And although I had friends that were praying for me and friends that were, you know, supporting me, like, hey, like, God will forgive you, you know, they weren't. My friends that were Christian were not bold enough to tell me, you're being an absolute idiot. You need to come clean. Like, sometimes, all I'm saying about atheists and unbelievers, sometimes they are the ones that you can get something from that your Christian friends aren't giving you because they don't want to hurt your feelings. Like, you know, sometimes we, like, as Christians, kind of sugarcoat things and try to, like, bottle feed it to somebody when somebody who doesn't care about that is like, no, like, you're a moron. Like, you're
you
doing.
have to be real.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Did you have more?
No.
Are we getting into, like, the nitty gritty of, like, our mistakes?
Yeah, sure.
Is that what we're doing?
Things that cause or have caused anxiety for our life. Yeah.
But, like, our mistakes in our marriage.
Yeah.
Is that what we're talking?
Sure. Yeah.
All right. So I'll start with what I've done.
Okay.
We'll start with that. Couple things. There's 2 situations. Oh, maybe 3.
Maybe there you go.
Where I've, like, I've obviously done way wrong, but I haven't. When I think of it this way, I haven't went all the way. If that makes sense.
If we're comparing it, it wasn't as bad as what I did.
Not to yeah. But flirting and trying to initiate things, is wrong. Like, you shouldn't do it. So this is what, a few things. Let me start with number 1. So first of all, groomsmen in my wedding. Your groomsmen are like people that are pretty close to you. Mm-hmm. Like, they're your closest friends.
They're your people.
Yeah, and so I really messed up with one of them. So one of my good friends, his wife, like, we were texting and she had said something like, he's not giving me any attention or something like that. But I had kind of like prodded her to see if she was going to say it, and she did. And then my response was, I'll give you attention, wink, wink. And then I immediately said, JK, JK, which means, just kidding, just kidding. And she didn't reply back for a little while. And then she was like, it was kind of like, oh, heck no, like, kind of thing. And I was like, oh man, I've screwed up. And then later, that groomsman, one of my good friends, her husband was like basically like, are you talking to my wife and stuff? And I was like, oh, I was just joking and stuff. I try to blame that incident on Robitussin, like blame it on the Robitussin.
But the reality is, we make mistakes whether we're on medicine or not. It doesn't erase the mistake. It doesn't excuse it. Yeah.
So yeah, that was mistake number 1. And that ruined that friendship. It ruined a friendship. I believe he's never gone ahead and come out and said that it's the reason, but another groomsman, like one of my, like, probably who was my best friend, was kind of like he was like, I don't think we can be friends anymore because just we don't have anything in common, which I think was just like not the truth. I think it was like what I did.
An easy way to break it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, mistakes can, like, don't make mistakes like that, because it'll, like, the 3 groomsmen. Now, one of them, like, we're kind of getting a little closer and stuff, but the other 2, and we can be cordial. Like, if I see him out, we'll chat. Oh, hey, it's nice to see you. But
and these were friends. So there's layers to that too, because one of these people lived with us for a short time, and
twice, right?
I think so. But I thought that this person hated me, like they wanted nothing to do with me, and I would like cry to Aaron and be like, I hate that your friends don't talk to you because they don't like me. So for a few years, like, I lived out this guilt of I said or did something wrong to this person, and now they don't want to be friends with you. And the truth is that, like, this mistake Aaron made that I didn't know about is really what caused that division. And so he allowed me, like, not to like stab the wound, I'm just being honest. Before, a few episodes ago, we talked about the Lafayette Great Banquet, and it's so weird because God was like nudging me to ask you, is everything okay? He was acting normal. There was nothing you were doing or behaving like that made me think anything was undercurrent. Like, I just felt God telling me, ask Aaron if he's okay. Ask if anything's going on, like, with him. And I was expecting your response, if you were going to answer, to be like, I'm just stressing about money. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. Like, the way God was asking me to ask you was making me think that I just, as a wife, needed to check in on you. And it was a few days before he was getting ready to load up and go to this Christian retreat. And he wasn't going to have his phone or way to communicate with me for 72 hours. And I was home alone with a 1-year-old and a 4-year-old, 3-year-old. I mean, it was going to be a lot. And it was late at night. We had already put the kids to bed, and we were sitting on the floor in front of the fireplace. And I remember we were leaning against the couch, and I asked you, I'm going to ask you one more time because God won't let it go from me. What's going on with you? Is everything okay? And it was in that moment that this was like 3 years after that had happened. And like I said, you weren't giving any clues or cues that something was up. You were acting totally normal. And I asked you, and all of a sudden the dam broke and you just flat out came clean with everything. And I think because God was preparing me, like, I never yelled at you. I never got mad at you. I just got quiet. Like,
Was
do you
that
remember
for
me?
just that one incident?
Yeah, but do you remember me sitting?
It was in our kitchen. We were
It
sitting
was.
there and it was like,
I was
why
sitting
are
on the
you-
kitchen counter, and Aaron could not figure out why I wasn't angry at him. It was freaking for 3 days. The 3 days leading up to you going to that event, you like couldn't look at me. Like you were just so like taken aback that my response was, "Listen, I love you. We're going to work through this." It's like I had nothing but grace. And that is the first time in my life that I learned what grace really means. Like having real, true, genuine grace for somebody.
Yeah.
And I remember I learned that because you were so freaked out that my response was, God wants me to give you grace. I'm going to give you grace. And you were just like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with my hands. I don't know how to react. And for 3 days, Aaron like avoided me at all costs because you didn't know what to do. This horrible thing you did. You did not know what to do when I was just like, okay, we'll work
So
through
it ruined 3 friendships.
3
And
almost lifelong
and
friendships.
could have been a marriage, you know. So
Yeah.
don't do stupid stuff. That was number 1. I think number 2 was in Fowler.
Yeah, we had filed bankruptcy and we had to sell our house to get out of debt. And we moved in with my parents for about 9 months.
That was the hardest.
It was difficult.
Time.
And it wasn't because my parents were hard to live with. It's just when you're an adult and you've got your own family, it's like not shameful, but it's embarrassing. Like the shame and embarrassment that comes along with I failed at something, so mom and dad have to cover my butt again in my adulthood. Like that, I think.
So
it was
anyway, there
difficult.
was a girl that lived a few streets down, and we were chatting,
Yeah.
and like that was in the days when I had Snapchat, and
Which, by the way, an episode in the future we'll be talking about non-negotiables for marriage, like boundaries and non-negotiables for marriage. I will say Snapchat is probably one of the number 1 platforms that I would never have if I was married.
yeah, don't.
If you
have it.
value your marriage, why are you on an app that purposely deletes things so people can't see
Yeah.
it? It is
there's
the
no
number
reason to
1
have it.
place that you might as well just be on a dating site, a public dating site, if you're going to do that. And you can hate on me all you want for saying that.
There's not any reason for somebody.
We don't.
Who's
It's a
married,
non-negotiable.
There's no reason for somebody who's married to hate on you for saying that. 'Cause
Yeah. If
it's
you
not-
value your
it's not
marriage.
an app for somebody who's married to have.
No, it's
Like
not.
I don't care if your grandkids have it.
I don't
like, there's
think
no
it's an app
excuse, is
anybody
what I'm
should
saying.
have. If
There's
you've got
no
to delete
excuse.
things, there's secrecy
There's no
there.
excuse you should make. Like even if somebody has it, like there's no excuse for you to have it.
Yeah, I agree.
So anyway, like we were chatting and like, you know,
She was alluding to you coming over to drink with her.
yeah.
And this was before we lived in Dayton. So this was when Aaliyah was if you value your relationship, you need to be doing everything in your power to set fireproof walls around that you're not stepping over. You're not coming into compromise with anything or an agreement with anything.
I think we're good.
Hey Ty, hey Day. This is a
always
good
get to-
episode for you guys to listen to if y'all are going to get married.
We're talking about all of our mess ups since we've been married. So
Yeah.
yeah, hi Ty. So yeah, we talk. I don't know how long you guys have been listening, or whoever's listening, but I talked about 2 times where I messed up talking to a couple girls after we got married, and then a third time was like a mutual friend, and we were going to lunch together
Yeah.
on work hours, and I went and visited her, and Kelsey didn't know.
He was telling me he was like staying the night at his parents.
And like I went
So-
to this girl's house,
Yeah.
and it was just her and I alone.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like
But so here's the thing, because I often so I was intentionally putting myself into a position for something to happen, obviously. Like I'm not obviously.
although you denied it at the time. You're like, we're just friends, and I'm like, friends don't just do this.
Here's
at
the thing:
nighttime.
if you're married, you don't not tell your wife you're going to another girl's house and it's just you and her alone.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's like the side of me that's like, this is wrong. I feel like I've always had that, like, I start to like get myself into these bad situations, and then it's almost like I can never follow through because I'm like, it's not right. Because then that evening,
putting yourself in the situation, you may as well have just done it, because
so, like,
emotionally
that evening,
you've cheated.
then I was like, well, gotta go. And she was
Yeah.
like, oh, you do? And I was like, yep, see ya.
I mean, I find comedy in it now just because I literally can hear you saying that. Like,
It was
see you later.
It kind of went like that because,
Yeah.
yeah. So those were my mess ups. You've got 2 big mess ups.
They were the same mess up, just with 2 different people. One
But
of them.
one, and I'm gonna say this because one happened before we got married, and I didn't find out till later. Here's the thing that I truly believe: had I known before we got married, we would have never got married.
Yeah. I will say, the people we are now, the strength that we have now, and the affection, it's not a lie when I say Aaron and I rarely fight. I don't remember the last time we had a fight, but I know for a fact there's only 2 things that get under my skin that Aaron and I ever would fight about. And they just don't happen anymore. Like, because of these stupid things we've done that jeopardize not just us, but our children. Let's be real. Like, our mistakes directly affected our children. Mommy wasn't home. She was with somebody else. They may not know that, but when they get older and we tell these stories, I don't know how they're going to feel about that. But we're not going to lie to them. Like, when our kids are at the age where they're really serious about getting married, you bet I'm going to be honest with them and tell them, like, you better make sure when you're ready to marry somebody, this is who you're with, and you decide this is it for the rest of your life. There is no other option. There's no, sidestepping this when things aren't working out. You're with them for the rest of your life.
Yeah. So, are you gonna tell your stories, or am I gonna tell your stories?
I can tell them.
Okay.
So we were engaged, and it was, I don't exactly remember how close to wedding, but I know it was like within a few months. I know that. I was a secret drinker, and I don't even know if you
were
really
also
knew that.
a secret smoker, and
Yeah.
when I found your pack of cigarettes, I tore it in half, and I said, you're either gonna keep smoking or you're gonna stay with me. You're gonna choose what you're gonna do.
Yeah, and I'm glad you did, because it's a gross habit. But
I think there was 2 times
yeah,
that I caught you with cigarettes, and I just destroyed them.
all I'm saying is this: the truth has a way of coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And usually,
Or
when you're
like-
not willing to say it yourself, it will come out in the worst, most unopportune times.
She thought she could just chew some gum and give me a kiss, and I wasn't gonna know she was smoking.
Yeah.
But you can smell it all over.
In the car, yeah. So the first mistake I had made, it was an affair. Well, I was engaged. I had made the decision I was marrying you. So to me, it is an affair. I don't know if people classify that as affair. I personally do, because I've already committed that I'm going to marry you.
Yeah.
So this person's, their dad had just passed away, and it was a drinking buddy of mine. And I literally, when I say I don't really remember that evening, I genuinely mean I don't really remember that evening.
And that's what happens when you drink, people.
Yeah. I genuinely don't. I genuinely don't remember
when you
it.
drink excessively. Yeah.
Yeah,
you won't
and
remember everything.
I just know that stuff happened. That I know that for a fact because of a text he had sent me later, and I'm like, oh, that wasn't a dream. That really did happen. Okay. And I've never been that drunk in my life, ever. How I got home to West Lafayette from where we were, that's a miracle in itself. But that was when you were working a lot at Speedway. You were a store manager for Speedway, and it's a gas station, so people don't really have pride in their job in most of those places. And so constantly he was having to work his day shift and then an overnight shift for somebody who called off. And it was during that season where you were always working. And I don't know, I'm making no excuses, because I don't know if it was like my upbringing. I don't know if it's like I didn't have an example of loyalty like that. I will be honest, the friends that I had at the time, they encourage stuff like that. They don't really care. They're like, go have fun, go live your life. They weren't Christian friends at all. And I wasn't very close to the Lord. Like, I was talking the talk, but I was absolutely not walking the walk. It was like, I go to church on Sunday, but every other day of the week, I'm drinking.
Here we go with that country song.
Yeah,
again.
no, it's true. So yeah, that was my first mistake, and I will tell you what, it ruined a lot for our first year of marriage because
I didn't know about it.
Not just the affair, but two parts to this. First, our very first Valentine's Day, I worked at a nursing home, and I got this big, amazing, beautiful, probably $200, no joke, bouquet of roses. And it just said, I love you on it. That's all it said. And it was obviously in the handwriting of the lady who was the florist. So I didn't expect it to be your handwriting. I would have got that right away. So I took a picture of it and I sent it to Aaron and I said, thank you so much. And he's like, yeah, I didn't send those. Who sent those to you? Oh, crap. Oh, crap. It was my first thought. So I call the florist and I'm trying to do investigation and find out who the heck sent these to me. And then I found out it was that person. And I'm like, oh no, no. You just took away like the first holiday, like love holiday that I had. This is my first Valentine's Day with my husband. And so I took all the flowers and I gave them to all the residents, but it didn't erase what I did. And I still at that point hadn't come clean about it. Well, our 1-year anniversary, we're in the car and we're going to dinner. And I'm not kidding you. It was like, I don't even know how, I don't have words to describe it. It's like God said, now, you're going to tell him right now, or I'm going to find a way for him to find out. And I said, Aaron, I have something to tell you. And on our 1-year anniversary, driving to dinner, I was pregnant. And I said, I have to tell you about something I did before we were married. I have to tell you. And I don't know how you were just graceful. Like, you were upset, obviously, but you did have grace for me. You did try to have understanding. It took you a minute to kind of process it. Mm-hmm. So that was the first one. We worked our way through that. And then years later, I don't know how long into our marriage, but our kids were still young. Aaliyah was she was probably 2 or 3 at that time, I think. I was taking medicine for weight loss. I was really insecure about my body, so I started taking topiramate and phentermine. That's what the doctor had prescribed me. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say right now, this is not an excuse, but do not take topiramate because it absolutely will alter the fact that you care about anything. There were thoughts I had. I actually called my mom one day on my way to her house, and I said, I think I'm just going to drive into a ditch. I said it so emotionless, like I didn't care.
Yeah, so that's the thing about, I think that's an SSRI classified drug or whatever.
It's a mind-altering drug, yeah.
So I feel that some of those can help people. Some of them at some prescription level, maybe, it's helping. I don't know. But yeah. I will say I can empathize with her because when I was younger, they put me on Paxil. And was my anxiety gone? Yes. But was I not the same person? Yeah. So
it changed you a lot.
Literally will alter your brain. I was stealing stuff from Walmart. I was swapping
yeah, and if you know Aaron, he is a by the book person.
Barcodes,
he doesn't do that.
It was. Yeah. It will really change you. And there was another time where I said something to my supervisor, and she was like, "Did you really just say that?" And then she just walked away. So I feel like I wasn't even in my own person.
Yeah.
So, and again, not to say because we were taking this, that's why, but there are drugs that literally, think about the mass shootings and things that happen. Most of the time those people are on
a lot of times they're finding
drugs.
that they are on SSRIs or things like that, antidepressants, all that stuff. But yeah, to go back to the what happened though, I was on it for a couple months, so it had plenty of time to take effect. And I had just got an Apple Watch. And I will be honest, this is why I sold my Apple Watch to somebody else, because I'm I don't want it. I don't want to be tempted at all to blind you with something else. And so
basically I grabbed her Apple Watch.
For something, yeah.
I'm pretty sure I was sitting on the toilet.
I was with the person. I'm pretty sure it was the evening that I was with the person. I left my watch at home charging. So you were able to see all the text messages, all of the planning, all of the everything. And I lied to you about it. When you questioned me about it when I got home, you sat down on the bed with me and you pulled up my watch and you're like, so what's this text? What is this? And you like clocked me in, man. You were like, what about this? What's this mean? And I said, I didn't do it. I swear I didn't do it. And I lied about it because I thought I'm going to lose everything and it wasn't worth it to me. And it sat with me that not only did I do this, now I'm lying about it. So it wasn't that I was keeping it from you. I just flat out lied about it. So now I'm carrying the weight of actually doing it and lying about it, which don't do that.
So
just come clean.
So essentially, I thought she was kind of doing the same thing I was doing, where she was just like
flirting
and like being intentional about trying to meet with this person, but not go all the way.
Yeah. And it wasn't until last winter, this recent winter, I think it was. This last winter, we were in the fireplace in this room.
I think you're right.
And I really wanted to start living my life for Christ.
Well,
like,
that's not when the events had happened. They had happened a while ago.
This was years later.
But so she always waits years later and then tells me like, oh, I did this.
Yeah.
Oh, why'd you wait 3 years to tell me that?
Yeah. But, and so it was probably like 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
3 or 4 years later down the road.
You're right. Yeah. 3 or 4.
I hadn't talked to this person since. Like there was one Facebook message interaction and it was at like 3 a.m. and I immediately woke you up and said, hey, he's talking to me and I want you to know exactly what he said and what I said. And my last communication was, I know who I was then, but who I am now, I'm not giving up my marriage and I'm not giving up my family. And his text to me was, immediately it went from, I really think you look great and care about you, to immediately like F you and enjoy your life on lockdown. And I was like, no, this is it.
This is what I'm going to say is I've heard enough about this person. And first of all, it doesn't matter what your religious beliefs are or not. Like, people are hurting out there. Like, everybody, like a lot of people hurt for different reasons. And like we said earlier, like your upbringing can really shape who you are and stuff. But from knowing about this dude and like the things he's done, he strikes me as a pretty vile person. And what really I think has always hurt the most was the location. Anyway, vile, like the Grinch.
Yeah. And I don't know, all that to say, because we are running out of time, but I will say you make mistakes. And if you've already made the mistakes, but you haven't come clean, I would encourage you to come clean, because your spouse should be the number one person that is your absolute ride or die best friend, person you can confide in. And you should be able to be vulnerable and honest with them in all things in your life. And I will say, even though all of these things were terrible, awful things, I will say God will use anything for his glory and anything to make you a better person. And a lot of what we did and what we experienced, God has really humbled Aaron and I both, and has really shown us like, this is what marriage is. Are you sure you want to keep doing this? Because it's not a thing that you just check out whenever you don't like it.
We've both messed up. And when you get married, I'm just like, this is advice, like take it to the bank. When you say for better or for worse,
you better be prepared for worse.
You better be prepared. Like things like even like Kelsey getting sick and being sick all the time, and like it's hard.
Yeah.
And that's like the part, I mean, that would be in the for worse category.
Yeah. And I don't know, I just think like, again, going back to like what you said earlier, we cause our own anxiety. Like God doesn't produce anxiety. That's not something he generates. He is not in the business of that. So if you're having anxiety, I think you really should self-reflect, because sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes, and probably most cases, the anxiety we're feeling is unresolved issues that we're not willing to deal with, or truths that we're not ready to face. And a lot of times it's things we're causing for ourselves. And a lot of times those things that are hurting us aren't really just hurting us. They are hurting our spouse. They are hurting our kids. They are hurting our friends. it hurts people. Like when you make decisions like that, it does not just affect you. There's a world around you full of people who care about you, and it affects them too. Mm-hmm. And when you're making these decisions, you get so laser focused on something that you don't realize that. I certainly was not, I wasn't thinking about that when I was doing those things. And especially the second time around, because I didn't care about anything. And I know I care about you. I know I care about my kids. I know now that would never happen now. Even being friends with that person on a social platform would not happen. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like make the mistake, own up to it. But then if you really care about the person...
Don't make the mistake.
No, I'm saying if you're going to make the mistake or if you did.
Not if you're gonna. If you do, like, don't. But if you do.
Yeah, and you just need to be honest and vulnerable with your spouse, because lying about it, I know from personal experience, it's not the way to go, because then you're carrying that.
And don't wait 3 years.
Yeah, and don't wait. Yeah. Don't wait.
We've both waited, obviously.
Yeah. But I don't know. All that to say, like, it is possible if you experience that kind of stuff that you can come out on the other side of it and actually be better for it. But it doesn't mean that that's the route you should take to get to being better.
Yeah.
There are way better options of how you can better your relationship, better your marriage, than doing stupid crap and being caught for it. So we just wanted to really be vulnerable, and that's something we've kind of wanted to talk about for a while. And I think the reason that we didn't really know what to talk about this week is because I think, in all honesty, it's something I've been putting off.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, people don't like saying they did something wrong.
We tried to take turns choosing like what we're gonna do. So 1 week she'll choose, 1 week I'll choose. So last week she chose, and this week I was supposed to choose. And she texted me and she's like, "Let's do this." I was like, "All right."
Yeah, but it's time.
But next week I'm gonna try to choose something fun.
Yeah.
We've got. So yeah, this episode was kind of heavy, but we've got some fun ones planned. I want to do a singing one with her. She's like really not wanting to do that one. But I'm excited to do that one. My son and I are going to do one on Beaman Drive. So
sorry if you hear the test sirens.
He's going to do like a what do you call it?
Not tutorial.
Tutorial kind of, yeah. Wasn't
Is
that
it?
Well, anyway, he's going to do kind of a tutorial, and we're going to do that one together. That'll be fun. I think there's a plan for Aaliyah to do Kelsey's makeup.
Okay, for that one, here's.
So we've got some fun ones.
Yeah.
I guess.
So for this one, I need everybody's help. Aaron said this was his idea, not mine. Okay. That if we can get enough shares and likes for our next episode for next Saturday.
Well, no.
That's what you said. That Aaliyah will do the makeup tutorial on Aaron.
No.
Yes, that's what you said. That is so what you said.
This is what I said.
Don't back out now.
Well, look, I'm looking for followers, so whatever we have to do. But no, what I said was when we do the episode of Aaliyah doing your makeup, if we can get enough likes on that one, we're gonna set a number like 50 or something.
I don't know.
We're
I think
small.
it should be our
50.
next episode.
We have 75 followers on Facebook or something. So we're not gonna go to. But I was saying 50 followers or 50 likes on that video. Then I'll let Aaliyah do my makeup.
I think it should be doing your makeup instead of my makeup.
I don't know.
That could be fun.
We'll talk about it. But we've got some fun ones. This one was heavy. Thanks, Ty. Appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in, checking us out.
We want to have Dayla and Ty on here to talk about college landscape.
Yeah, that would be cool.
How it's differed from you would be the host and they'd be the co-host. But
maybe we'll just let them do it on their own if they're up to it.
That is true. If you guys just want to be the host and co-host for that would be cool too.
Yeah, let us know. That would be a fun one.
Yeah.
But I think we're at time. There's a Purdue game on at noon today. And by the way, they're playing Illinois, so boiler up.
Oh my gosh.
So we'll see. Should be a fun one.
50 likes on our next video. Aaron's going to be the makeup dummy for Aaliyah.
I didn't say that.
I'm saying it.
She's just trying to get out of it. That's why. She doesn't want to, I don't know, look like something.
I don't like having makeup on.
No. I think you need to do it with your daughter.
I will. I'm just saying she also needs to do yours.
We'll see. If we get enough comments of people saying you need to do it.
If we get one comment, no, I'm just kidding. You won't vote for
Listen,
that.
if we can get a video to go viral.
Oh my gosh.
If we can get a video to go viral and have how many views?
Like 150.
150,000?
Yeah.
I'll cut my hair and shave my beard.
Not the beard. Come on.
I'll keep the mustache, but the beard I'll cut. And I'll get it. I'll do the Fu Man, or not the Fu Manchu.
The curly
handlebars,
Q?
yeah.
The Mr. Monopoly guy?
Yeah.
You must be the Monopoly guy.
All right. Thanks for tuning in, y'all.
Yeah, we love y'all.